Richard Eden is the person presenting Palace Confidential. He's the Royal Mail. He's the Daily Mail royal correspondent. There we are. Let's not exaggerate the royal link. And in March this year, he put out an article in which he said that I'm going to read it, a perpetually slimmed down monarchy would be doomed to fail. And he then celebrated the idea that possibly Lady Louise and James, the Earl of Wessex, could bring a much-needed burst of youth and energy to an ageing institution. He was saying this as Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, approached his 59th birthday. So at the moment, Edward is the only working royal, I think, under the age of 60, apart from the Prince of Wales and his family. And that, not his family, because his wife isn't really a working royal at the moment. So it's a very elderly royal family that we see, and it's very much a slimmed down system. So when he was writing in the Mail 3 days ago, Richard Eden said that he'd got information from Prince William that he had the intention to further slim down the royal family, and this is causing some worry. Richard Eden and then News Corps columnist in Australia, Angela Mollard, have both expressed fears that narrowing the monarchy too much could be detrimental to the future of the monarchy. Mollard particularly criticised William's approach as foolhardy, and particularly in the light of the joy that was generated by the presence of the Princess of Wales on the balcony at Buckingham Palace, which had this huge uplifting effect. But the absence of junior royals otherwise was seen as disquieting. And traditionally, the sovereign's birthday parade is an opportunity to see the extended royal family, and the recent exclusion of minor royals left the balcony looking empty and the Duke of Kent appearing lonely and frail. Now, the post-pandemic policy of allowing only working royals on the balcony has continued from the end of Queen Elizabeth's reign, and has been influenced by the issues surrounding Prince Harry, Meghan, and the Duke of York's disgrace. But I think that needs to be put to one side in the interests of filling that balcony, among other things. It's about a stage, and it's about a performance and about a show, and no matter how charismatic individuals may be, like King Charles, they can't fill that balcony on their own. And it's, concerns were raised about the future, particularly if Prince William continues to exclude non-working royals. A friend of his suggested that he agrees with his father, King Charles, on the need for a slimmed-down monarchy, potentially excluding even his younger children from being working royals. And the article that Eden has written suggests or argues that a more inclusive approach involving cousins like Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, Lady Louise, Windsor, the Earl of Wessex, could strengthen the monarchy. Angela Mollard in the Australian media has criticised Prince William's plans, calling them too narrow and potentially harmful. She's emphasised the need for a broader and more inclusive approach to ensure the monarchy's stability and relevance. Spanish media, which of course has leaked so much information about, sometimes wrong, about the Princess of Wales's health, Spanish media often contrasts the British media with the smaller European monarchies, which Prince William reportedly sees as a model. However, the general sentiment suggests scepticism about a more slimmed-down approach, and I'm inclined to agree. I don't think it will work for the more prominently and historically entrenched British royal family. The debate about a slimmed-down monarchy reflects this broader concern about adaptability, sustainability, and the publicity, the negative publicity which has assaulted the royal family in the last few years. And while the proponents of a streamlined system argue for efficiency and relevance, critics worry that the excessive reduction undermines the institution's ability to connect with the public, because that connection is visual rather than accessible. And that visual display, once that visual display goes, once you start tampering with tradition, no matter how recent that tradition has been engineered, you get into trouble, because tradition encapsulates in visual form often the deep emotional bond. And a really good example of where tradition has been excised and where it's taken years to get back to something like stability is in the Vatican II reforms in the Catholic Church. The slashing of the cardinal's capomania is almost an icon of the destruction wrought on the stability of the Catholic Church by those changes. Those changes often summed up in the vernacular liturgies, but it's not really just the vernacular liturgies. It was about ploughing through the tradition which people accepted. Now, tradition only has to be a generation old to be tradition. It doesn't have to be that old. And to get rid of what people expect is to claw into the venerable institution. And I think in so many ways the coronation, the trying to justify each element of the coronation, weakened the coronation itself. It became something that was explainable and therefore diminished. One needs that element of mysticism, which is why in so many religious settings, not only in Christianity but beyond, a lot of the more important moments are hidden or veiled or are only seen by the select few, because that elitism enhances the mystery and enhances the magic of the ceremony. And when transferred to monarchy, that the distance, but the show, is in itself theatrical. And to take away the theatre is to take away the only source of communication. And television does not reproduce that. Television is a foolish alternative.